Hey there ladies, Claire Luffman here, your business mentor who's here to simplify the business building process for you. And today let's talk about why your business might not be moving ahead as quickly as you want. Maybe sometimes you feel like you're moving at a snail's pace. You know, you really would have thought you would have been there by now, wherever there is. And a huge reason, if that's you, you can relate, a huge reason is probably how you're spending your time. Like how you're spending your time and what you're working on. Now, many of you, I'm sure, have heard of Stephen Covey's time quadrant, right? There's 4 quadrants. And most likely, if our business isn't where we want it to be, most likely we're spending time in quadrants that we shouldn't be spending a whole heck of a lot of time in. So let's talk about the quadrants. The first quadrant are things that are urgent and important. So they're important, they need to get done, and they're urgent. You know what? We should be spending time there. But when we actually start spending time more in another quadrant, which I'll tell you about in a minute, our need to be hanging out in quadrant 1, these emergencies, these fires, are going to start decreasing. When we can actually learn to embrace and love planning out our business a bit more and being good overall with how we're spending our time and how organized we are. And so that's quadrant 1. Again, important and urgent. So when those things come up, they do need our time and attention. Now let's talk about the third quadrant. The third quadrant is urgent, but not important. And it seems urgent, right? That ringing phone, that new notification in Facebook, that new email. It's like we're jumping on it. Somebody wants to meet you for lunch. It's networking, and it's like, you know, you're doing it whether or not it makes sense for you and for your agenda. Let's start telling time who's boss, right? Let's start taking a bit more accountability, a bit more, putting more boundaries around our time. So no, you don't need to instantly respond to that email. I am fine with letting things go into voicemail, right? And you focusing on what it is that you were working on. So these things, they're not generally important. They're not the most important things for you to be working on to move your business forward, yet they seem urgent. There's an urgent nature of it. We're spending way too much time in quadrant 3. To quadrant 4, it's just wasted time. Not urgent, not important. So getting sucked into social media, right? Taking excessive breaks during work, right? To watch TV, to do this, to do that. Meeting friends for lunch. That's wonderful. That is not urgent or, well, you know what? I'm not going to say that because sometimes it is important. But how the things that we're choosing to do during our work time, okay? So it's like the excessive surfing the web and those types of things. Many of us are spending way too much time in quadrant 4. So how about we spend more time in quadrant 2? Quadrant 2 are those things that are super important but not urgent. That's where the majority of your strategic business building activities take place. A lot of your marketing is happening in that quadrant. Super important, not urgent. Sending out your email newsletter, doing your videos, going to your networking events, posting on social media. People are not going to be like calling you up being like, oh my gosh, Claire, I can't believe you didn't send out your email newsletter. I can't believe you didn't post, 3 times on social media today. You're not going to get that. But it's working your marketing plan that is definitely in this quadrant. Planning out your business, creating what I call a 3-month success plan. Every 3 months, creating a new success plan. 4 to 6 projects to focus on the next 3 months to move my business forward. And then blocking out chunks of time in my calendar to actually work on those projects. That time in my calendar, if I don't specifically block off time, it's not going to happen. It's going to get pushed to the back burner because yes, even though it's super important to get my business where it wants to go, not urgent, not urgent. Unless you've got a coach, right? An accountability partner who's like, hey, you said you were going to do something, but many of us don't have that. So without that accountability, that quadrant where we should be spending a good portion of our time, a large portion of our time. Quadrant 2, super important, yet not urgent. A lot of times gets put on the back burner. So again, ladies, let's not beat ourselves up. All right, if you feel like you've been spending your time unwisely, just make a commitment to yourself. Start today, start tomorrow, start Monday, that you're going to be you're going to have better control, set better boundaries around your time so you can truly move your business forward and get it where you want it to go. All right, ladies, you can so do this. I am cheering you on. Until next week, bye.